Welcome to this webinar. We're so glad you're here. We're going to be talking about detoxification and give you an Ayurvedic perspective on why that is important and let you know how to get involved with a cleanse that has live support. I'm Paula Crossfield and I'm really lucky to be here today with Dr. Robert Svoboda, who is a renowned Ayurvedic physician and also the author of a dozen books on the subject and other topics from India. And we're going to talk a little bit more about detoxification and Ayurveda. And Ayurveda specifically is all about balance. So it's about the substances and actions that help to keep you in balance. So what do you think, Dr. G?
Balance is certainly the thing that is at the basis of the Ayurvedic system. Ayurveda is more of a system of life than it is only a system of medicine and healing. So it's all about being balanced with everything that you do and experiencing the benefits of a life that is balanced. One of the problems with the world as it is and has been for now many thousands of years is that people, when they become urbanized, tend to become less connected to the natural world, less naturally balanced. And it's much easier for them to become out of sorts, out of harmony with the life force itself. This is particularly the case because in an urban environment, it's very easy to be exposed to and absorb a number of things that are very difficult for the organism to digest. These are things that many of them that we never were exposed to before, all sorts of organic chemicals and heavy metals and things like that. And many of them are things that are being, as a result of being improperly digested by the body, are being converted into things that have a toxic effect in the organism. We call them AMA, AMA, which means undigested. These are things that your body could have digested but was unable to because possibly it was not in a balanced condition at the time that you attempted to digest them. So when we are attempting to use Ayurveda for our benefit, we also have to learn how to balance the input of things into our organisms, and that's not just through our mouths only, but through all of our sense organs, and to balance that with the need to get rid of all of the things that our bodies don't require. So a cleanse is important on a regular basis so that we will be able to keep our organisms in a balanced state.
So Dr. G, what does Ayurveda recommend for cleansing?
Ayurveda has two basic ways of cleansing. One is an active and sometimes very strong way of forcing the body to get rid of things that it doesn't require. And the other is a more gentle and more time-intensive method by which you reduce the amount of inputs into the body and you allow the body, by taking in certain substances that may sustain it and support it during this process, so that that purification process, even if it takes a longer period of time, still has a very effective result.
So Dr. G, how long in general would you say a person should cleanse, say once a year or once every 2 years?
Well, though there is always benefit to be had in cleansing, even if it is for one day, generally speaking, it's better if you can go through a period of 4 to 6 weeks during which you are being restrictive with yourself, because that allows your organism the time that it needs to permit things that may have been stored there for quite a long period of time to come out of storage and then be eliminated from the organism.
And you've used essential oils before, right? So you are familiar with them.
I am familiar with essential oils, and I like to use them, many of them, on a daily basis. I particularly like to take some hot water early in the morning. Hot water is something that assists everything that's in the digestive tract to be digested better, and it facilitates the preparation of the digestive tract for all of the things that you're going to put into it during the day, especially if you have that hot water early in the morning. And I do like to put a few drops of some sort of citrus oil into that hot water, because not only does it taste good, that citrus oil does have a positive effect on encouraging the digestive fire to become stronger, and in a very mild and gentle and not insistent kind of way.
Essential oils also help to pull toxins out of the fatty tissues. So it's interesting to know that there's about 80,000 chemicals in circulation now that have not been necessarily tested to see how they impact our bodies. And about 80% of those get stuck in our fatty tissues in our body. And it's actually really hard, right, to get stuff out of the fatty tissues.
Very hard.
So that's where our toxic load comes from. So essential oils are actually a really great way to address this, because when we're using something like a lemon oil, something that comes from the peel of the lemon, it actually crosses the cell barrier in our body, and it helps to pull the toxins out of our tissues and get them out of the body. So of course it's really important to get oils that are really high quality, because if you're taking them internally, you want to make sure they're pure, they don't have any chemicals or additives. And this is why I personally use and recommend doTERRA oils, because they've been tested 54 different ways. They're tested by a third party, and every single batch is tested, which means that there's a number on the bottom of the bottle that you can plug into a website and get the exact results of that specific test. So this is a great opportunity to get involved with a cleanse with live support, and that live support will be coming from me. There'll be a Facebook group where we can all chat together, and I'll be having regular calls throughout the 30-day cleanse so that you can ask questions and find out more. So follow the link below in order to get your herbs and oils so you can get started right away. And then schedule your 30-minute phone call that's totally free so that you can talk with me if you have any questions, so that we can get you prepared. And then of course join the Facebook group. The conversation's already going on there, and there'll be a live Q&A with me to get started so that you can learn more about the diet that we're going to be following and all of that good stuff. What makes this cleanse different is that it's completely doable in your ordinary life. I've done a lot of really extreme cleanses or fasts, juice cleanses, things like that. This is not an extreme cleanse. What we're really trying to do is to make it doable, because all of us have busy lives and we want to make sure that we do get this cleanse in on a regular basis. So this is going to be all about really achievable and small changes that we make to our day-to-day.
One of the great benefits of doing things gradually is that there is less of a sudden and dramatic shift between the way you are living a life of enjoyment and indulgence, and suddenly the way that you change when you cleanse and become very restrictive and very limited. And there's a tendency, after being very restricted and very limited, to go back to being very unrestricted and very indulgent again. It's much better to organize this cleanse in the context of your daily life so that it can become part of an ongoing process where your body understands that part of the time it should be more open and more willing to take things in, and part of the time it should be more interested in removing the things that have been taken in that don't belong there.
So thank you for joining us for this, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm here, I'm ready to answer your questions and help you, and I look forward to you joining us on the cleanse.